So what key do you pick? Today we've got the McLaren 720S and the Ferrari F8 Tributo. Really a beautiful car. I like the name Tributo, celebrating the most powerful 8-cylinder engine they've produced to date at 710 horsepower. So very, very impressive. Now, these are very similar cars. I've been checking their statistics. So weight-wise, the McLaren's only about 25 pounds lighter. This is a lighter car than the Ferraris used to be, so they've really done a nice job with weight savings. Aerodynamics, again, nice comparison between the two. A 4-litre, 8-cylinder twin-turbo engine producing 710 horsepower, 568 pounds of torque. A 4-litre, 8-cylinder twin-turbo producing 710 horsepower, 568 pounds of torque. Almost identical statistics. The brakes are slightly bigger on the rear in the McLaren, but other than that, they're similar up front and so on. About 15.5 inches up each front side and so on. So they've done great works with the aerodynamics on the car. F8 Tributo actually creates about 15% more downforce up the front end here than the 488, mostly because of this S-duct that you'd have seen previously on the Pista, of course. So if I reach my hand down in there, you might be able to see my fingers waving. It's really pretty amazing how much air, of course, gets trapped in there, pushing the nose of the car down. Pretty cool stuff. So let's check out this new 4-litre unit. It's really 3.9-litre V8. I'm going to pull up on the panel here. That will open up our rear engine area. And it has a Lexan cover with the 3 slits, very Ferrari F8 reminiscent there, kind of cool stuff. And gosh, it's super light being that Lexan cover. Way down inside the frame, of course. You can see that big 90-degree V down in there. Very, very impressive. So on this newer 3.9-litre twin-turbo V8, they've learned an awful lot from their Challenge program, their racing series for the customers, and their GT3 program in the professional racing, etc. That's carried over into this engine. An example would be turbo rev sensors from the Challenge car and now in the road car. So some very cool innovations. Yeah. I like the new light design on the rear too, very thin LED circles, very cool and sharp to look at. And I like this on the rear wheel too. They incorporate the parking brake into the same housing as the main caliper. A lot of exotics, you'll see it on the other side as a separate little brake. It's a clever idea. I think probably save some weight too to incorporate it right into the caliper. So let's take a look at the history of Ferrari's 2-seater mid-engine Berlinettas. So the two cars have similar performance, they're similar size, they're similar weight, they're both 4 litres, they're both 7 gears in the transmission. But let's take out the latest prancing horse and see how she drives. So I got lucky to drive 458 recently, so let's take this one out and see the difference from 560 horsepower up to 710 in a similar car. It's all transmission beyond belief. Absolutely amazing. Oh, a bit more roll than I thought through Batman's corner there. Good balance though. Feels very alive. Feels much more like 458 than 488. Very, very impressive. Let's try these big brakes out. Oh, very good, very good. So taking off from a standing start, we're just going to hit it. Oh, moved around a bit on the back end there. Very, very powerful. They've worked a lot on this transmission too. the second you touch that paddle, it is in the next ratio down. Very, very impressive. Doesn't feel turbocharged. Very, very interesting. The turbos, again, under huge pressure like they are in the McLaren, but here they're more linear. The power builds, again, more like an old-fashioned sports car. So Tributo would be the latest evolution of their mid-engine two-seater Berlinetta. Great transmission, gosh, just lightning fast. The transmission bites harder than the McLaren does for sure. Great sound, really a good sound. They've really given the car a nice balance. Again, coming down to a right-hander here, jam it in second, tap on the brakes, hit it, and immediately the power is there. Right up to the red line. Amazing how it spins up so quickly. Very, very impressive. It does feel very much like a racing engine for sure, and I think that's a compliment. So as far as storage up front, I think the S-Duct does eat into some of the storage, of course, because it is going to be sending air up over the top here. But still a nice deep size. I'm sure Ferrari makes some special luggage that would fit in there nicely. And again, you're not looking for SUV storage in a supercar, because generally you'll have an SUV at home. So that's the Ferrari F8 Tributo. Obviously, as a McLaren guy, I might be a little more biased towards this car. But I'll tell you, the gap has shrunk an awful lot between the two now. These cars are much closer than you might think. It's just a question of which one you prefer. I had a customer that has over 60 exotic cars say to me that has both of the cars. He said, it almost depends which of your children you love more. It's an interesting way to think of it. They are the same target achieved in a very different way. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you don't mind, please share this video around. If you've got any comments, any questions about the two cars, just give me a shout. I'll be glad to answer down in the comments down below. I'll see you again soon. Thanks very much.